According to classical media and according to the internet, there is currently a crisis of masculinity. What does this mean and what can we do about it? Now, the first thing we have to do, of course, before we can answer what that entails is to try to find a definition of the term masculinity. And millions of people have done so in the past few years on the internet. Now, what we see quite clearly is that the internet and social media especially polarize people. They generally polarize people into one of two camps surrounding the subject. Camp A claims that masculinity is a social construct that is oppressive in nature and therefore should be done away with as soon as possible. While Camp B states that in order to be masculine, you should be acquiring ruthlessly as many valuable items and women as you possibly can. I think both of these viewpoints are wrong in their own way, and they both don't really help the millions of young people currently seeking guidance. And that is mainly, I think, because they don't give you any framework for acquiring meaning in your life. There is nothing that brings you to an actual purpose for living. Because let's be honest, plan A, just doing away with the concept of masculinity altogether, just leads to nihilism and a lack of path, a lack of purpose in general, while plan B only leads you to trying to acquire money and women, which even if you do acquire them at the end of the day, will feel empty and hollow because you did it for the wrong reasons. Now that we've talked about the current paradigms, the current ways of viewing the concept of masculinity, and we've done away with both of them, the question remains, what is the right way to approach masculinity? And I do not directly have an answer for you because just like you, I'm also searching. However, there have been a lot of incredibly smart people who have thought about this and written about this in the past 2,500 years. And we can use those as guidance. We have the old Greeks, of course, Plato, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. Then we have more recent history like Viktor Frankl and Dostoevsky, and we have thinkers of now, Jonathan Haidt and Jordan Peterson, to call out a few of them, but there's many more that we can base our research on. Now, the aim of this channel is to extract all the different lessons from these authors in the past and in the contemporary and to put them together once again to create a congruent framework that young men can use to become capably masculine, with the goal of being a good influence for their own surrounding and maybe even society, but also to find purpose and meaning in their own personal life. If this is something that you want to be a part of, or if this is something that you just want to follow, I'll see you next week when we discover Marcus Aurelius' Meditations.